Coming up, a local attorney filing lawsuits against two local insurance companies. Also, the Bay Area weighing in on the threat of the COVID-19 virus. And a stabbing incident leaving one man injured. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: 6 months post Hurricane Dorian, and many clients of insurance companies have yet to receive payments because of unsettled disputes. Tonight, a local attorney is blasting insurance companies who have not considered giving their clients interim payments, which he says is within industry standards. He's also calling on the Regulatory Insurance Commission Board to get involved and intervene on behalf of disenfranchised home and business owners. The attorney says as a result, lawsuits have now been filed.
In all my humble 20 plus years of insurance litigation in other jurisdictions, I've never seen insurance companies do this and get away with it.
Attorney Baron Duncanson of Bahamas Claims Assistance says something must be done about the way some insurance companies are dealing with claims post-Hurricane Dorian. During a press conference with two of his clients, he shares how two insurance companies have either not made or were reluctant to make interim payments 6 months post the storm.
Interim payments in the rest of the world, it seems, but for the Bahamas, in the insurance industry, is where if an insurance company says your claim is only worth $10,000 and you think it's worth $20,000, if you still have a dispute over what exactly is the value of the claim, in just about all of the rest of the world but the Bahamas, it is the norm, insurance industry norm, that they will pay you what they think they owe you according to the loss adjusters. And that in itself does not bind you necessarily or compromise your claim if you think that you should be going to court for more.
He says this is unfair, especially to persons who have already been stripped of their life's possessions, went through a traumatic storm, and are ready to get on with their lives. He questions whether or not these tactics are being done to frustrate home and business owners into accepting lower offers.
A cynic might say, well, it's clearly designed to financially pressure people to either compromise in full or just simply cave in and just go away. But I can assure you, in just about all the rest of the Caribbean, it is insurance norm. It's the norm. It is the insurance industry standard that interim payments are made.
What's worse, Duncanson says he has taken the matter to the Insurance Commission, a governmental regulatory body that governs the practices of insurance companies in the Bahamas, and he says they were no help.
It's a small guy. It's a small guy that's taking the pain. You see what I'm saying? It's an industry that basically is just running roughshod over the consumer. And it doesn't seem that the Insurance Commission is interested to actually assist the consumer. And I say that pointedly. The Insurance Commission, I think, is really badly disappointing and letting down the consumer. The average man here in the Bahamas, we are not being represented, or at least, all the Insurance Commission had to do when we complained to them is open investigation, ask the insurance company pointedly, well, what's going on? To come back to us and say, oh, you should go back to the insurance company and file a formal complaint, and then let's see what they say as and when they say something.
These clients of J.S. Johnson and Royal Star Assurance say they never imagined after paying their insurance they would have been treated so poorly by the companies that should have made their recovery easier.
It is horrible. I have my elderly mom at home, and all of us, we went through this dramatic thing together. So when the insurance companies send in these foreign people to come do all these assessments, they come with their poker faces on. You're telling them, you're expressing what's going on. They could see, but they don't care. Plain and simple. I feel it was very unfair, and to be living in the same state after the hurricane, that's very unfair.
You ignore the process, you ignoring people's life. This is our life. We have a business. We have tenants and whatnot that are waiting to come back. We still have bank payments that has to be paid. When I paid my money to y'all, no one said go to Nassau. Then when I call Nassau, the guys from Nassau gonna tell me, oh, Miss Simmons, I know how I been to Freeport, I know how you feel. Really? Staying in the Pelican Bay doesn't tell me you know how I feel. Because I'm living in that house right now that's totally open up, that's being destroyed by the storm. Because I still have to live there. Why? Because I haven't received $1. I paid almost $6,000 a year for insurance, my husband and I. Not $1. That just show you how heartless. My advice to everybody, as this insurance time come back and most of y'all are fixing your houses back up, think twice before you go back.
Attorney Duncanson says they are suing the insurance companies for an additional $50,000 for emotional stress and or aggravated damage. Now, our ZNS News Department reached out to J.S. Johnson Claims Department in Nassau, and we referred to the office manager and were told that we would receive a call back. However, that did not happen. We also called Royal Star Assurance and were told that all managers were in a meeting. We also attempted to reach the Insurance Commission Board, but we were unable to get a comment up to news time. Switching gears now, the World Health Organization has now declared the COVID-19 outbreak a global pandemic as the amount of cases continue to rise across the world. As of today, there are now over 122,000 cases of the coronavirus in some 114 countries. There are also 23 confirmed cases to date in Florida, and the growing health concern has sent many scrambling to purchase hygiene and food supplies in the U.S. Well, this morning, our ZNS News team visited several stores on Grand Bahama to assess the situation. Here is Atalia Hall.
With cases of the coronavirus increasing across the globe, it would appear as if panic is setting in, and some residents are flocking to local stores to stock up on some supplies. Shoppers are purchasing lots of hand sanitizers and Lysol spray, which health experts say will help to disinfect surfaces. In fact, some stores have sold out of some hygiene items. At Sawyer's Fresh Market, store manager Kayla Pradella says they have been seeing a high volume of customers.
As of yesterday, we sold out of all hand sanitizers and Lysol spray. We still have bleach, but for the most part, the customers are really taking it serious. Business pickup from Saturday with all those cleaning products and sanitizing products from Saturday, and I'm still trying to get some more in as of today from Nassau. I can't seem to get any more from the States right now, but I'll try again today.
She says shoppers have been purchasing lots of water and canned goods. And here's some of the comments she has heard from shoppers.
They're stocking up because they're scared that the borders are going to close. That's all they've been saying to me. They're stocking up to be safe in case the borders close.
Over at Stop and Shop, Solomon's, and Crosstown Food Store, we were told that the same items are just about sold out.
Now at the Save More drugstore, the situation was not much different. As you can see here, all of the hand sanitizers are gone off of the shelves. Now our ZNS News team spoke with a customer service representative who says over the weekend, persons came in one by one asking for hand sanitizers and much more.
They have been looking for daily vitamin C, Dettol soap, Lysol spray, and hand sanitizer. And trust me, it come in today, it's off the shelf today.
So you're sold out?
Sold out. Yes, waiting on shipment to come in now.
Now experts say it's also important to manage your family's mental health, as stress levels tend to rise during outbreaks, especially among children. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Tally. Well, the Ministry of Health now has a COVID-19 response team in place to deal with a potential outbreak of the new coronavirus COVID-19 in the Bahamas. A 6-bed unit has been set up at the Princess Margaret Hospital for managing patients that could possibly have severe acute respiratory illnesses, including COVID-19. A unit will also be set up at the Defense Force Base, which will be a 20-bed unit inclusive of intensive care space. The ministry is setting up a hotline, and once up and running, persons with symptoms of respiratory illnesses or fever can contact them on a 24-hour basis. While the rising threat of COVID-19, better known as the coronavirus, continues to affect some travelers as well as those in the tourism and transportation industry. Just yesterday, Florida officials were urging anyone who recently traveled throughout Port Everglades to isolate themselves for 14 days if they start to experience flu-like symptoms. Officials from the Balearic Caribbean, one of the vessels which travels to Freeport and operates from Port Everglades, said that so far the coronavirus has not affected business. Managing Director of Balearic Caribbean Limited, Mario Otero, says things have been going smoothly, and at this point the company is not worried about their services. However, they are continuing to monitor the situation.
At this moment, the coronavirus situation is not affecting us. It's not affecting us so much. We have some cancellations in reference of some of the countries that they cannot travel to the Bahamas, like for example Italy, and we are tracking the situation in terms of also for Lauderdale, for Everglades. You probably saw the news. There were some cases in relation with that, but like I say, our operation is not a cruise operation. We are transportation. We are a transportation service. We do not have any business with the company that is being affected with those cases in Port Everglades.
Now, he says the company is implementing more prevention methods in terms of thorough cleaning and logging those cleaning exercises. He says in terms of their passengers, the Balearia is implementing some new procedures as well.
Since the end of January, and by the recommendation coming from the Bahamas, from the government of the Bahamas and the authorities, we implement also a form that every passenger before boarding the vessel, they have to complete that declaration, that health declaration, and provide that health declaration to our staff members. If one of those questions in that health declaration is answered wrong, we do not allow the passenger to board the vessel. At this point, we didn't have any case that we had to deny any passenger to board the vessel.
Meantime, those at the front line of the tourism industry say they are taking the threat of the coronavirus seriously. Tonight, they share what mechanisms they have in place to protect their guests and themselves. As the coronavirus sweeps across the world as a pandemic, the reality of this threat is now hitting home. Many are taking more preventative and precautionary measures to mitigate the chances of being affected. Taxi drivers are among those in the tourism industry who say they are not taking any chances, noting that it is better to be safe than to be sorry.
I wash my hand as often as possibly can. Now I know I deal with a lot of tourists, there's money, and I was trying to get me some hand sanitizer, but you can't find that on the shelf. They all sold out.
The rumors have been constant on social media, and fear has gripped many residents. Despite no cases here in the Bahamas, the disease is already affecting some local businesses. Managing Director of Mama Gal Native Experience, Cindy Bevan, says business has declined.
So far, we've had a few cancellations. All the way out until about May, June, we've seen a cancellation so far. It's something that we've never seen, especially in this part of the world, in the Bahamas. So it's mind-boggling to think that something that started in Asia, as far as we understand it, to have reached the Bahamas, not necessarily having cases, but to affect us.
Now, the disease is said to be transmitted mainly through respiratory droplets that launch into the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. Drivers that come into contact with tourists daily are keeping Lysol on hand.
Well, I travel with my Lysol spray. And every time when I ride a guest in particular, you know, sometimes some of them is come inside your car coughing and sneezing. So I spray my vehicle every time somebody come in my car and they cough, I spray up my car.
In case I would have had any of those cases, if you notice, I got my Lysol. It kills 100% germs, and If you come close to me, bam, you're dead. The coronavirus, leave 99 more to go. So don't come this way. I got you.
Straw market vendors say that business was slow before the outbreak, and now it is even worse. But they too are also prepared.
And I wash my hand every time I go anywhere. And when I deal with money or whatever else and food, I wash my hands all the time.
I wouldn't say it affects us a lot because we, from the hurricane, we always had a slow period. We have people coming in, but we're not really interacting with them like that because they're not really shopping. You know, they pass them, but they're not really shopping. So it's not. I don't think it's much. It would be much harm to us.
Other straw vendors say they remain vigilant, but not fearful.
I think that's just a plague. The Bible just being fulfilled right now, it's right. So all we got to do is tell the Lord cover us with his precious blood.
First of all, you trust in God, you call upon his name, and you talk to Jesus. You hang it down there, you grab it with power. You don't give up faith on nothing. Don't give up faith. Then you go to whatever else they tell you. The water, don't touch one another. I know how to make husband and wife, but you don't touch one another. And then you do what is necessary.
It's not coming here. No, I trust in God, and I believe that the Bahamas, I'm sorry that it's happening all over the world, but we will be spared, because we are a Christian nation.
Bam! You're gone, Lysol. The coronavirus, you're gone.
In other news, 2 men sustaining stab wounds overnight, and now their search is on for their attacker. Reports say the 2 males were walking in the area of Coral Gardens last night when they were involved in an altercation with another male who stabbed one of them to the leg and the other to the head. The injured men were both taken to hospital. Their injuries described as non-life-threatening. Investigations are continuing. And coming up, the Rotary Club working to improve living conditions of storm victims on Grand Bahama. That story and a whole lot more when we return.